Now that I've been working out for over 2.5 years, there's something that I've been noticing over time whenever I go to the gym. If you don't know by now, it's kind of a meme at this point that I work out at Planet Fitness.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
But one of the things that I often see, and you'll see this at no matter what gym you go to, there's always going to be people there, and you might be one of them, that aren't really actually working out. Let me explain myself. What I mean by working out is actually going very intense, having a high level of intensity when you work out. Meaning that you don't just bench press and, do 2 sets once it starts to really burn and ache your chest. You don't just do that. You go as intense as you possibly can. And I'm not saying, oh, every rep, every set should be to failure, because that's also a pretty bad idea. People will start out going to the gym and they'll go really hard and they'll, push themselves, get stronger. But over time, you kind of just get complacent with the weights and you're just going through the motions. You're not really pushing yourself on the machines. You're not really pushing yourself to lift heavier. You're not going as intense as you should be to see more growth. If you don't want to see any more growth, then go on ahead doing what you're doing. But for those of you who actually want to keep progressing every single time that you go to the gym, you need to keep in mind you're not working out hard enough. One of the things that you'll hear from fitness YouTubers, people who are like on the scientific part of the fitness industry, they'll mention something called RPE, and this means rate of perceived exertion. Now that's just a fancy way of saying how hard was the set that you just did. So let's say I'm doing a set of lat pull downs. So I'm doing lat pull downs, right? And RPE essentially means how many reps I have before I reached absolute failure. So if I'm doing lat pull downs to RPE 7, that means that I could have had 3 more reps before I hit absolute failure, which would be RPE 10. Now, a really strange phenomenon is that when most people say that they're doing their maximum effort, they're really only going to RPE 7 or 8. They're leaving a lot of gains and muscle building on the table by not going to the actual failure that they think they're at. So if I'm consistently always doing my lat pull downs and I'll say, you know what, I'm not going to go to failure this time, I'll do 2 reps off of failure, and I'm one of those people who only hits RPE 7 or 8 whenever I'm working out. Now I'm doing lat pull downs and I could have had 4, 5, or 6 more reps in that set. And as this builds up over time, you're leaving so much on the table, you're leaving so much training intensity on the table that you could have had and pretty much wasting it. Especially if you're a young guy. I don't want to freak anyone out here, but as a young guy, this is the best time in your life to go hard. Your body is full of natural testosterone. You're going to be able to move quicker. You're going to be able to recover quicker. As a newbie, you're going to be making the most gains you'll ever see. So take advantage of that. Go intense on your workouts, especially if you're someone like me who's been working out for a couple years now. If I were to do the same amount of intensity that I was doing last year, or if I were to work out with the same weights and loads that I was working out with last year, I would definitely not be making progress. This is why it's important to track your progress. This is one of my big mistakes. I've barely ever been consistent in tracking my progress, which is something I'm getting into now. Now, if you constantly watch these fitness YouTube videos, you'll see 2 sides. You'll see one side, which is the very analytical, scientific side, which tells you do this optimally, get your perfect range of motion, do this exercise optimally, this exercise is not optimal, don't do it. And then there's the other side, which is go hard, go super intense, everything to failure, go crazy, right? There's a good middle ground to be in where you can lean towards more one side or the other. I would say I lean more towards the analytical, science-based side, but that doesn't give me the excuse to not work out hard, because you can know every single optimal workout and, be putting in 50% effort only. But you can be putting in 100% effort all the time and still be leaving gains on the table because you weren't taking advantage of better ranges of motion, not ego lifting, and doing workouts and movements that are more beneficial towards you. So keep these things in mind if you're a newbie lifter. And all I can finish this video with saying is, you're not working out hard enough. Go more intense on your sets, all right? Much more intense. You are not going out hard enough.